Hey, what's up? It's Jason Sircone, and welcome to the first installment in a brand new series here on Podcasting Strategy Simplified. Each and every Monday, I'm going to start off your week by answering a burning question in the podcast space. This may be something that you've submitted to the show, or it just may be something that's a frequently asked question in the space. Either way, you're going to walk away from this quick 5-minute session with some actionable tips that you can apply to your podcasting practices. Stay with me for this episode. I'm going to tell you at the end how you can submit your question to the show. We're going to kick off this series by asking a question that's probably been on your mind at some point in your podcasting journey. Why isn't my podcast growing even though my content is good? Now, let's answer this in multiple layers because this is a multi-layered question. The first thing I want to say, and I do not say this to be insulting, maybe, just maybe, your content isn't good yet. What I mean by that is in your mind, you may think that it's good, but it hasn't resonated with your target listener yet. How does it get to that point? You have to play the long game. Now, believe me, I know that's a trite answer. Yes, play the long game, keep going, blah, 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 blah. You hear it all the time in podcasting. But as you learned, if you listened to episode 90 in my conversation with Julia Levine, there is a number of guru expert advice people out there that will say, yeah, you got to keep going and just keep pushing the episodes out. And as Julia pointed out, there is some truth to that, because if you don't keep going, you're never going to experience the true breakthroughs that you're looking for. Nobody is going to succeed if they quit. And if you throw in the towel today, well, if you haven't reached that breakthrough yet, it's never going to happen. But if you are committed to building a quality show and you stay committed to putting out new content on a consistent basis, whatever your cadence is, whether it's weekly or bi-weekly, as long as you have a game plan for how you're going to continue to do just that, that's going to set you up for success, and it's going to put your content in that realm of good that you're looking for. As we continue to push out new content, it means that we're on camera, we're on mic, and we are flexing our pipes. We are flexing our muscles. We are consistently adding reps to what we're doing. There is no way that you cannot get better if you're going to put practice into it. So if you're committed to the long-term gains that podcasting can bring you, then you can continue to build good content, and that's going to help you grow, and it's going to help make things better. Now, something else to point out. You don't have to have the world's best podcast. Neither do I. All you need is a powerful message that reaches the right people. And so often we get enamored and wrapped up in big numbers. And it's still a flex that I see people doing. Oh yeah, we just hit 1,000 downloads in a month. Big deal. It doesn't matter. All you need is a good message and the ability to relay it. And how well you relay that message will continue to get better and better the more you build upon your content and the more you stay committed to putting out new episodes for your audience to consume. Along the way, you do need to look at things on all levels, and you do need to look at what might need tweaked. Look at me. Here on Podcasting Strategy Simplified, I had to rebrand the show earlier in 2026 because the initial name that I had picked for the show did not speak to what we do here on this show. If you go back and listen to the episodes, you're going to get some great podcast content. But if you're searching for that content, the old name of this show, Let's Blow This Up, simply wasn't visible. So I said, you know what? It's time. I'm going to make this change. I'm going to do this across the board with everything. The show will now be called Podcasting Strategy Simplified. That's what we do here. And that's going to be how I roll content out going forward. Within a month's time, the podcast started to rank. I saw my listenership improve. I started to get more listenership. The retention rate on the episodes went up. And I have to believe that because the show is much more discoverable now, that played a major factor. So to put a bow on the question, why isn't my podcast growing even though the content is good? Realize that good is a subjective term, and you don't need to appeal to the masses. Keep focusing on the content that's going to keep you engaged in the process, but also relays your message in a powerful way. As you continue to get better at relaying that content, you're going to find your audience. But Do not get enamored by these shows that are getting millions of downloads or even thousands and thousands of downloads. You need to appeal to the right audience, and that audience size is different for every single one of us. If you try to compare yourself to the Joe Rogans of the world and you're in a very tight niche, then you're not going to get what you need because you're going to be focusing on the wrong things. Focus on making valuable content, stay consistent with your reps, and stay consistent with putting that content in front of your audience, and the right people are going to find it. And as time goes on, it's only going to continue to improve because your skill set will continue to improve as well. Now, before I wrap things up today, if you would like to submit a question for this series, go to speakpipe.com/simplified and submit your question today. You can find the link for that SpeakPipe page in the show notes. That will do it for today's episode of Podcasting Strategy Simplified. Until our paths cross again on the next episode, my name is Jason Sircone, reminding you that podcasting isn't easy, but it doesn't need to be complicated. I'll see you next time.